What we were thinking about in the paper was how could we try to isolate these different mechanisms from one another? What would it mean to learn from another community, another locality in a state, or what would it mean to imitate them? And we have some sense of how those processes work, but there could be learning and imitation going on between any two communities. So how do we disentangle those? What we were drawn to is the idea that some of the literature has shown that the bigger cities, the wealthier cities, that those are going to be innovators. They're going to come up with ideas and the ideas spread from them. But they're also sort of perceived in a particular way. So Chicago is perceived as being the city to be copied in Illinois. And so the question is, could we take advantage of that fact that some of the larger cities might just be copied not because they have a really great policy, but because they're seen as the leaders, because they're seen as doing what maybe we should do, even if we haven't done the research to find out if the policy works or not. And so we could take advantage of the fact that the larger or wealthier communities are going to be the ones that you might just imitate without learning about their policies being successful. And other communities around the state, maybe the smaller ones, are the ones who are going to only have an influence if their policy works really well. And so we wanted to separate out, well, let's see if we can find out what's going on throughout the state, the opportunity to learn from lots of different communities, versus what's going on to the nearest neighboring cities, and especially the bigger ones, where you might just engage in imitation. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to learn from Chicago. There's lots to learn. But it means that if we're trying to separate out those concepts, we can rely on that division between, we know there's more imitation of the larger cities, the wealthier cities. Let's take advantage of that.